Husbandos and waifus. My Hero Academia has made a quick turn of what's happening right now, especially when it comes to Hero Society. But honestly, we're gonna see how everything unfolds since Endeavor's in the limelight and not in a good way either. Question of the day. Of the three boys, who is your favorite and why? Deku, Bakugo, or Todoroki? Let me know in the comment section below. So anyways, guys, let's hop into this episode of My Hero Academia. Look at Bakugo, just worried about his boyfriend. Hey, let's be fair. The reason why Midoriya hasn't woken up yet, look at all of those goddamn injuries, bro. Sometimes your body just needs to rest. Recovery Girl probably gave it her all. I really love this opening, man. This might be my favorite opening this season, besides like Tokyo Revengers. It's a flashbacks to Hawks, it looks like. Those tiny bird wings. I'm here. That poor elephant, bro. That elephant built like me too. That's crazy that Hawks was trained at such a young age. I mean, technically, heroes are fictitious, right? In our world, at least. But not all heroes wear capes. Some heroes are just like regular people. Is that his dad? Oh, he did not look like he was in like a very good family settings. I wonder why. The dad seems like a good for nothing. My father killed someone over a small amount of money in the past, so he's wanted. What the f... Man, his father's a good for nothing, man. That Hawk's backstory is just so sad, man. Wait, what's his mom's quirk? There's eyes. Endeavor caught him? And Endeavor is like Hawk's hero. His life changed because of Endeavor. Endeavor catching his dad is like hero work. I wonder what his mom's quirk exactly was. That's good that he didn't give in to his mom's wants. He stuck true to justice. Yeah, that's good for his mom. But that puts him under a lot of pressure. Just because he had a lot of potential. He wanted to be a hero too, like Endeavor. He always believed in Endeavor. The Batmobile! An idea inspired by the Nomus. Who would have thought? Whoa, hold on. That's a lot of information. So it's exposing why Best Genius is the way he is. Like, reading this, I didn't really understand it at first. So it'd be good to just reread this part. So I wouldn't have undergone surgery to be in a state of temporary death. Thanks to that, my body is ragged like distressed denim. The surgery was a success. I brought your body to Dabi in that state, but it was really your body, so you passed without a problem. Oh, to be like a Nomu. Dude, he came in clutch last minute. I found a frayed spot. Glutton God? Dude, this guy got a bill like me, but my hair is way better. Glutton God will take over the shopping district. Man, these small-time villains really think, man. The police have their hands full with villains who escaped from prison. As for the heroes, they closed up their offices and left. Yeah, a lot of heroes just quit and gave up. Yeah, you could see, even though there are some people happy to see the heroes, there's some people who are not too thrilled. I mean, if they have such a problem with heroes, they should just take him out of their own hands. Shit. Like this guy, he has his own weapon. He probably got that from Detonarat. Distrust of Heroes is getting worse and worse every day. Yeah, and the heroes quitting doesn't help at all. So, you know, it kind of sucks. Is this his family home? The League of Villains. I wonder if he cares that his mom is proud of him. Yeah, it was Dabi definitely using that. Even though I wanted to help people, he abandoned his mother. Isn't it weird? Because that's also like the same thing that Dabi said, right? He's like, they abandoned their own people to save people who are complete strangers. I actually feel relieved. It's not really something I can say in my current situation, though. So he's kind of like a free agent at this point. That's when their true nature comes out. That's why Bubagawara was a good guy. He's put a lot of thought into this. He was desperately trying to help others. That makes him a hero in his own right. I want to be like that too. Damn, a lot of things to think about in that sense. I want to do what's right. Even if what Dabi said about the Todoroki family is true. I'm sure things are different now. More more or less, you know. Endeavor's trying to make up for his mistakes, and I think that's where it really counts, right? Is where he realized what he did was really, really messed up, and he's trying to make up for it. He doesn't have to be forgiven for it, but he's trying his best to fix things. There are a ton of loose ends I need to tie up. I wonder what those loose ends might be. Endeavor's in trouble. Oh, he cares about Endeavor, because that's the person he looked up to. Look at all those ruffians on the street. Yo, Aizawa had the shit end of the stick every single time he went across the Nomus. Yeah, in a way, you can also blame the civilians, because things kept getting taken away from them from villains when heroes are supposed to be protecting them. It's kind of like what happens with the police, right? Cider House? That's his name? Shion prison escapee. So what does Cider do? He just makes cider? A support item. This is when regular civilians can start protecting themselves. Yes, wash, wash! When the people who gave up on the heroes sought ways to protect themselves, they have weapons to do it now. Yeah, that comes at the cost of it all, right? Now there's more damage when civilians are protecting themselves. Look, poor Wash Wash, dude, he's sad. What took you so long, dude? Leave my guy alone, he's a thick boy! He's been trying to rush over to help. Look, he doesn't give up, man. He doesn't give up. Shout out to Wash the Goat. Yeah, Musha just gave up and announced his retirement. It's tough because, like, he's protecting the people. He doesn't get appreciated. He retires. People still hate on him. Like, at what point, what is he supposed to do? Yeah. I mean, I understand both the heroes and the civilian side. It's tough. My boy Stain. He's like, yeah. I like me some broken, rusted swords. Look at this mushroom man. Dude, poor Endeavor. You know he's sad as hell. He's going through it. That's nice for a doctor to say that. I can breathe. It seems like he almost wanted to die. That he's upset that he's alive. Yeah, it happens, man. Sometimes you just get bit back after you think you walked away from it, man. Hero Endeavor has died. No. And you finally see Endeavor in... Shoto! You never seen Endeavor so vulnerable. Why do I feel so bad that I want to cry, bro? I feel so bad for my guy, dude. Ooh, 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 wife who's incoming. Ooh. And that's where the episode ends, huh? Oh my god, bro. This episode is kind of laying everything out to us of the fall of Hero Society and the rise of the civilians protecting themselves, but also making things worse, right? Hero Society falling apart, the rise of the villains, and the rise of the civilians. But the rise of civilians also comes with its drawbacks, right? They're using these support items that were circulated through the black market by Detnerat. I think that's the company. By Detnerat company, there's obviously a lot that can happen to the body, and there's no control of it, and bystanders are getting hurt. Other civilians that are not involved in the combat are getting hurt themselves. They're not trained professionals. Compared to the heroes, they're trained to undergo these attacks, to take on these villains, to get hurt, while also securing the bag by stopping these villains, right? They're trained to do this. They're trained years and years and years. Hence, that's why UA exists and all those other schools for heroes. These are civilians that are just living day to day, now having weapons in their hands to protect themselves, because they think it's time to protect themselves, because there is a distrust in heroes, because heroes have failed them. You kind of understand both sides, right? You kind of understand why the civilians feel that way. It's because the people that are supposed to protect them are not protecting them, especially as the decline comes in, right? It's supply and demand. When there's a decrease of heroes, that means there's more work for the heroes and they can't even handle all that work, and the demand for them goes up. But they're not able to attack all of those demands as heroes decide to quit. As you saw, like, people were asking, Wash, where the fuck was he? Why did he take so long? Because he was by himself. There's only so much that one hero could do to protect the whole city. That's why there was multiple heroes in a city. So it's just, honestly, it's really bad for the heroes. It's a bad look. People took peace for granted. When All Might was around and All Might was able to do everything on his own, people took that for granted because they just expect there will be a hero to save them. There will be a hero to stop a villain. But what happens when the heroes disappear and the villains rise? They're getting mad at the heroes, but it kind of puts into the perspective as like, you never know what you had until it's gone. And since the heroes are slowly declining, there's nothing left for the civilians to do but to protect themselves. But there are some heroes that are still sticking around and trying to stick it out. We also got the backstory of Hawks and everything that he's been through as a child, him having a really bad father, an abusive father, as well as his mother who was kind of broken, as he says. Father ends up getting arrested. Him and his mother go on the streets begging for money. Hawks ends up working for the government because he had potential. But he wanted to take this on because in a way it will support his mother, but also he really looked up to Endeavor because he wanted to save people just like Endeavor did. And in that sense, he's also feeling like Endeavor's in trouble right now because he's in a really hot spot. As the #1 hero, not looking too hot. He did the best that he could, but in comparison to what society has expected for him, it's not on par. So he's really struggling, on top of the whole issue with Dabi, his son becoming a villain. You can only imagine, there comes a point, because you saw in those flashbacks that Endeavor thought Toya was dead. He was looking for him, but in a way Dabi took it differently. He gave up on me. I tried to do this and that, but he just gave up on me. Look at Dabi, and we understand his frustrations. We feel why he's mad. Endeavor shouldn't be forgiven for his mistakes, for things that he's done. Maybe he could be forgiven, but maybe you shouldn't forget what he's done. He's a villain. I mean, he's a hero. He's a superhero. He's superhuman with superhuman mistakes. And something like that, especially when you're obsessed to become #1 and you want to topple the #1 hero, and All Might is far ahead of you. You tried to create a super baby, which was his fault. But that comes in with his family right at the end coming together, say, hey, we need to talk about our family and what we're going to do about Toya, which is good. I think it's about time that the Todoroki family, who has been broken and split up for so long, is finally coming together to discuss what they need to do about their son that's running wild and is essentially a badass villain. Now, Deku's still sleeping. He's passed the fuck out, and all we need is Bakugo to kiss him on the lips to wake him up like Sleeping Beauty. Anyways, guys, that is my reaction review of My Hero Academia. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys go and drop a like for me because that would help me a lot. Subscribe. Thank you guys so much for the support. My Hero is one of my favorite series, regardless of how people feel about it. And at this point, it's just, it's crazy. Also, sometime today, I will hopefully I'll be caught up to the manga of My Hero on my own time, and then tomorrow we'll be able to live stream the most recent chapter. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next one.